Hello everyone, this is BB Sangmay and today we are going to discuss about notch sensitivity and approximate estimation of endurance limit. In the previous video we have discussed about the endurance limit, that is fatigue limit of the component. So do subscribe for the upcoming videos of machine design. So what is notch sensitivity? Actually it is observed that the actual reduction in the endurance limit of the material due to stress concentration is less than the amount indicated by the theoretical stress concentration factor Kt. Therefore, two separate notations Kt and Kf are used for stress concentration factors. Kt is the theoretical stress concentration factor which we have defined in the previous videos, and which is applicable to ideal materials that are homogeneous, isotropic and elastic. Okay, and where Kf is the actually it is the fatigue stress concentration factor, which is defined as it is the ratio of endurance limit of the notch free specimen to the endurance limit of the notched specimen. This factor Kf is applicable to actual materials and depends on the grain size of materials. It is observed that there is a greater reduction in the endurance limit of fine grained materials as compared to coarse grained materials, okay, due to stress concentration. You might be aware of the concept of fine grain and coarse grain, which belongs to material science and metallurgy. Actually, notch sensitivity is defined as the susceptibility of a material to succumb to the damaging effects of stress raising notches in a fatigue loading. Okay, the notch sensitivity factor is actually defined as it is the ratio of increase of actual stress over nominal stress to the increase of theoretical stress over nominal stress. Okay, so here sigma O is the nominal stress as obtained by the elementary equations. Okay, we can calculate sigma O from the elementary equations, and therefore actual stress is equals to equals to Kf into sigma O, and theoretical stress is equals to Kt into sigma O. Okay, so here increase of actual stress over nominal stress is the difference between Kf into sigma O minus sigma O, and the increase of theoretical stress over nominal stress is equals to Kt into sigma O minus sigma O. Okay, so here I have provided some figures. The first figure is the notch sensitivity chart for reversed bending and reversed axial stresses. So here you can see that as the notch radius increases, notch sensitivity factor Q increases. Okay, so here you can observe that there are various curves. The dotted curve is for the aluminum alloy, which increases. The slope of the dotted curve increases as the notch radius increases. The second curve, you can see that this is the curve for the steel with the ultimate tensile strength of 400 Newton per mm square. Third curve is for the steel with the ultimate tensile strength of 700 Newton per mm square. Fourth is for the steel with the ultimate tensile strength of 1000 Newton per mm square, and fifth curve is again for the steel for the ultimate tensile strength of 1400 Newton per mm square. Okay, so here you can see that the aluminum is having higher notch sensitivity factor for the increased notch radius. Also for the increased notch radius, for the remaining categories of steel, the notch sensitivity factor is slowly increasing, but for the aluminum it is very increasing with the maximum factor. Okay, so here the second figure is of the notch sensitivity chart for reversed torsional shear stress. The first is for the reversed bending and reversed axial stress. For the bending and axial stress, these curves are plotted, and for the reversed torsional stress, shear stress, these curves are plotted. Again, the notch sensitivity factor is increasing as the notch radius is increasing. The first dotted curve, you can see that it is of the aluminum alloy, and the notch sensitivity factor is increasing with a high intensity for the initial notch radius, but further increasing radius, you can see that after near about when the notch radius increases from 1.5 to 4, there is a little bit increasing, very low rate of increase of notch sensitivity factor Q. Okay, so remaining curves are again for the this is the curve for the annealed steel, which is having the Brinell hardness number less than 200. This is the curve for the quenched and drawn steel. Okay, so you can see that for the quenched and drawn steel and also for the annealed steel, the notch sensitivity factor is less comparatively for the aluminum alloy. Okay, so here Q is equals to again Kf into sigma O minus sigma O divided by Kt into sigma O minus sigma O, or it can be written as Q is equals to Kf minus 1 divided by Kt minus 1. The above equation can be again rearranged in terms of Kf is equals to 1 plus Q into Kt minus 1, where Kt is theoretical stress concentration factor and Kf is the fatigue stress concentration factor, and sigma O is the nominal stress, which can be obtained by the elementary equations. So when the material has no sensitivity to notches, Q will be equals to 0, okay, and Kf will be equals to 1. Okay, for the value of Q equals to 0, the materials those who have do not have any notch sensitivity or sensitivity to notch, for that the value of Q will be 0 and the value of Kf will be 1. And when the material is fully sensitive for the notches, the value of Q will be 1, equals to 1, and for that value of Q equals to 1, the equation Kf is equals to 1 plus Q into Kt minus 1 will be that can be written as Kf is equals to Kt. Okay, so here the magnitude of the notch sensitivity factor Q varies from 0 to 1. Okay, the notch sensitivity factor for various materials for reversed bending or axial stresses and reversed torsional shear stresses are obtained from these figures, these two figures. We can obtain the values of notch sensitivity factor. Okay, and in case of any doubt, the designer can use Q is equals to 1 or Kt is equals to Kf while designing on the safe side. Okay, next is we are going to discuss about endurance limit, and that is approximate estimation of endurance limit. Actually, the laboratory method for determining the endurance limit of material, it is more precise in lab, but it is having laborious and time consuming process. Okay, so the number of tests are required to prepare on SN curve, and each test takes a considerable time. Okay, yeah. So instead of that, it is therefore not possible to go for the actual experimentation and to get the actual experimental data of each and every material. Okay, so when the laboratory data regarding the endurance limit of material is not available, the procedure we can which I am going to discuss further, we can adopt that procedure. Okay, so here two separate notations are used for endurance limit. One is S-E and second is SE. Okay, so here S-E is the endurance limit stress of rotating beam specimen, which is subjected to reversed bending stress in Newton per mm square, and SE it is the endurance limit stress of a particular mechanical component subjected to reversed bending stress in Newton per mm square. So there is an approximate relation between the endurance limit and the ultimate tensile strength of the material. Okay, so for the steel it is S-E is equals to 0.5 into SUT. SUT is the ultimate tensile strength. For the cast iron and cast steels, it is S-E is equals to 0.4 into ultimate tensile strength. For wrought aluminum alloys, S-E is actually equals to 0.4 into ultimate tensile strength, and for the cast aluminum alloys, S-E is equals to 0.3 into ultimate tensile strength. Okay, so these relationships are based on 50% reliability. Okay, So the endurance limit of a component is different from the endurance limit of the rotating beam specimen due to number of factors. Many factors are there. Okay, so the difference arises due to the fact that there are standard specifications and working conditions for the rotating beam specimen, while the actual components have different specifications and work under different conditions. Okay, so here different modifying factors are used in practice to account for this difference. These factors are sometimes called as derating factors. Okay, so the purpose of derating factors is to derate or to reduce the endurance limit of rotating beam specimen to suit the actual component. Okay, so in this particular article only I am going to discuss only 4 factors normally which are required. Okay, so the relationship between SE and S dash E is can be written as SE is equals to Ka into Kb into Kc into Kd into S dash E, where Ka is surface finish factor, Kb is size factor, Kc is reliability factor, and Kd is modifying factor to account for stress concentration. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. What is surface finish factor? Actually, the surface of the rotating beam specimen is polished to mirror finish. Okay, but the final polishing is carried out in the axial direction to smooth out any circumferential scratches, to avoid any circumferential scratches. So this makes the specimen almost free from surface free scratches and imperfections. Okay, but it is actually impractical to provide such an expensive surface finish for the actual component. Okay, in case of actual component, it is we cannot avoid the surface scratches. Okay, and again it is costly for the actual component. The actual component may not even require such a surface finish. When the surface finish is poor, there are scratches and geometric irregularities on the surface. Okay, these irregularities, these surface scratches serves as a stress risers. Okay, they are the basic or they are the main reasons behind the stress, increase of stress or stress concentration, and it will result in the stress concentration. Okay, the endurance limit is reduced due to introduction of the endurance limit is actually reduced due to introduction of these kind of stress concentration factors or scratches. Okay, so the surface finish factor takes into account for the reduction in endurance limit due to variation in the surface finish between the specimen and the actual component. Okay, so here you can see the figure which shows in this figure we can you can see the surface finish factor for steel component. Okay, the surface finish factor K and its relation with the tensile strength in Newton per mm square. So as the tensile strength increases, you can see that the surface finish factor, it is actually decreasing. This is the area of polished and this is the area of ground. Okay, so here you can note that ultimate tensile strength is also a parameter which affects the surface finish factor. High strength materials are more sensitive to stress concentration introducing by surface irregularities. Therefore, as ultimate tensile strength increases, you can see that the surface finish factor decreases. Okay, from the graph you can see that. Okay, so here this in this table also you can observe that the surface finish factors, okay, for the various materials, for the ground, for the machine or cold drawn, for the hot rolled, for the as forged components. Okay, the next is the size factor. So here the rotating and actually the rotating beam specimen is small with the specimen which is usually in the fatigue test or endurance test is it is having 7.5 mm diameter. The larger the machine part, the greater is the probability that the flaw exists. Okay, in the larger parts there is a possibility or probability of flaws or internal voids while manufacturing. Okay, and when the part will be smaller, there are the less chances of possibilities of flaw. So okay, so the chances of fatigue failure originating at any one of these flaws are more. Okay, the endurance limit therefore reduces with the increasing size of the component. For the larger components, endurance limit will be less because there will be a possibility of internal flaws or voids, or you can in case of casting we can call it as a shrinkage or porosities. Okay, so for the larger components there is a larger or the more is the possibility of the internal voids. For the smaller component the possibility is less. So for the larger components, endurance limit will be less. Okay, uh, the size factor which is called as a KB takes into account for the reduction in endurance limit due to increasing the size of the component. So you can see that as the diameter for the various diameters, the size factor KB is provided. Okay, so in this table you can see that for the cylindrical components the size factor is provided. Okay, next is the reliability factor. The laboratory values of endurance limit are usually mean values. Okay, so there is a considerable dispersion with the data when a number of tests are conducted even using the same material and same condition. The standard deviation of endurance limit test is 8% of mean value. Okay, so the reliability factor Kc, next is this is the reliability factor Kc. It depends on the reliability that is used in the design of the compound. Okay, so the greater the likelihood that the part will survive, the more is the reliability, and the lower is the reliability factor. Okay, the reliability factor is 1 for 50% reliability. This means that the 50% of components will survive in the given set of conditions. So to ensure that more than 50% of parts will survive, the stress amplitude on the component should be lower than the these tabulated values. Okay, the reliability factors based on the standard deviation of 8% are given in this table. Okay, so here you can see that the value of reliability factor and Kc. Okay, the value of reliability and the reliability factor Kc. Okay, next is the modifying factor to account for stress concentration. The endurance limit is reduced due to stress concentration, as we know that. The stress concentration factor used for cyclic loading is less than the theoretical stress concentration factor due to the notch sensitivity of the material. Okay, so to apply the effect of stress concentration, the designer can either reduce the endurance limit by Kd or increase the stress amplitude by Kf. So here we will use the first approach. The modifying factor Kd to account for the effect of stress concentration is defined as Kd is equals to 1 upon Kf. Okay, so the above mentioned 4 characters or 4 factors are used to find out the endurance limit of the actual component. So here we are going to use these 4 factors, means Ka, that is surface finish factor, Kb, that is size factor, Kc, that is reliability factor, Kd, that is modifying factor, to account for stress concentration. Okay, thank you.